Good evening. From Tianjin, China, where the skyline of a city of 13 million provides the backdrop for one of the largest and most politically charged gatherings of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in its 2 decades of existence. This is more than just a summit. It is a stage on which leaders long isolated from Western capitals, figures such as Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong Un, are seeking legitimacy, while Chinese President Xi Jinping positions himself as the architect of a new global order. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or SCO, founded in 2001, was originally a modest forum linking China with Russia and its Central Asian neighbors. Over the years, it has grown in ambition and membership, bringing in India, Pakistan, and most recently, Iran. This year's summit in Tianjin is its biggest yet, welcoming more than 20 heads of state and government. The roster reads like a who's who of global politics outside the Western orbit: Russia's Vladimir Putin, India's Narendra Modi, Turkey's Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, North Korea's Kim Jong Un, and many others. The presence of these leaders, some of whom rarely share the stage with the wider world, is significant. For Xi Jinping, it is a chance to demonstrate China's convening power. For Putin and Kim, it is about showing that they are not isolated, but instead courted, photographed, and seated at the table of international diplomacy. Images broadcast by Chinese state media and partner agencies show Xi Jinping greeting leaders one after another. Handshakes, photo opportunities, and ceremonial welcomes underscore his role as the host. In recent years, Beijing has sought to reposition itself not just as a regional power, but as a mediator capable of bridging divides. And yet, divisions among the SCO members run deep. India and Pakistan, for example, bring their own long-standing hostilities to the table. Iran and Turkey arrive with agendas shaped by Middle Eastern conflicts. Russia and China seek to project solidarity, but beneath the rhetoric are competitive instincts for influence across Central Asia. For Xi, these contradictions are not a hindrance, but an opportunity. By gathering rivals under the SCO umbrella, he signals that China can manage diversity and disagreement in ways the West cannot. For Vladimir Putin, travelling to Tianjin is more than diplomacy. It is defiance. Facing sanctions and isolation from Europe and North America after the invasion of Ukraine, Putin is betting that appearances alongside Xi and other leaders will send a message back home that Russia still has powerful friends and a seat in shaping global order. Cameras captured moments of camaraderie between Putin and Xi, long handshakes, warm greetings, and quiet exchanges on the sidelines of the summit. These images, replayed on Russian state television, are designed to show Putin as respected and embraced, not shunned. Equally striking is the presence of North Korea's Kim Jong Un. Rarely seen outside Pyongyang, Kim's arrival in China provides him with an opportunity to claim international recognition. His meetings with Xi are not just bilateral, but symbolic. They highlight the fact that North Korea, though sanctioned and isolated by the West, remains firmly within China's sphere of strategic partnerships. Images show Xi and Kim walking side by side, clasping hands and posing for photographers. These visual moments carry weight, signalling to domestic audiences in both countries that their ties remain strong and personal. India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, also plays a pivotal role. Though India is not fully aligned with either China or Russia, it uses the SCO to assert itself as an independent global actor. Modi, speaking recently in New Delhi to returning astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla, tied India's space ambitions to the nation's larger global standing. Modi said, "But the biggest task in front of us is that we need to have a big pool of astronauts, the kind where 40 to 50 people are ready for this. Until now, very few children would have thought, yes, this is something good. But now, after your return, their trust will increase and so will the attraction." This remark, though focused on space, echoes India's broader message that it seeks self-reliance, inspiration for its youth, and a path not dictated by others. Modi's presence in Tianjin reinforces India's balancing act, working with China and Russia in forums like the SCO, while maintaining partnerships with the United States and Europe. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan is also among the participants captured in Madrid just weeks earlier during talks with Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez. His attendance underscores Turkey's strategy of bridging East and West, while signalling Ankara's readiness to deepen economic and security ties with Asian partners. Other leaders, including Kazakhstan's Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa, and Egypt's Abdel Fattah al-Sisi represent the expanding outreach of the SCO beyond its original Eurasian core. Together, they give the impression of a bloc that aspires to rival Western institutions in scope and legitimacy. Still, the summit is unlikely to produce dramatic policy breakthroughs. Decisions within the SCO require unanimity, and with members as divided as India and Pakistan, consensus on contentious issues is rare. Instead, the value lies in the spectacle, the optics of leaders gathering, the speeches delivered, the bilateral meetings staged on the sidelines. For China, the message is clear. By hosting the largest SCO summit in its history, Beijing underscores its centrality in the shifting geopolitics of Eurasia. For countries like Russia, North Korea, and Iran, participation offers a chance to challenge the narrative of isolation and align themselves with China's vision of a multipolar world. Every handshake and group photograph carries symbolism. In Astana, Xi Jinping and Tokayev posed for cameras, signaling China's growing investment in Kazakhstan. In Kazan, Putin and Xi were photographed together with Ramaphosa and al-Sisi during a BRICS Plus event, highlighting the overlapping networks of emerging powers. The SCO summit is, in this sense, not only about formal agendas, but also about projecting a worldview. It is about presenting an alternative to Western-led institutions like NATO or the G7 and offering countries outside the Western sphere a platform where their voices appear amplified. As the summit unfolds in Tianjin, what matters is less the joint communiques and more the visuals, the narratives, and the alignment of messages. Xi Jinping stands at the center, offering himself as the host who can welcome adversaries and allies alike. Vladimir Putin uses the stage to rebut Western portrayals of isolation. Kim Jong Un appears before the cameras as a global actor rather than a hermit king. Narendra Modi reminds audiences of India's aspirations and independence. Recep Tayyip Erdoğan extends his balancing act. This is not a summit of results, but of resonance, a moment for its participants to claim relevance, recognition, and legitimacy. And above it all, Beijing seeks to showcase that the future of global order need not be written in Washington, Brussels, or London, but here in Tianjin, under the watchful gaze of China's leadership. Chinese President Xi Jinping shakes hands. On Sunday and Monday, Xi will have numerous opportunities to do so again as he welcomes more than 20 heads of state and government from around the world to Tianjin. A meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is taking place in the city of 13 million inhabitants near Beijing. The Association of States has existed since 2001, and its members include China, India, Russia, Iran, Pakistan, and several Central Asian countries. The largest meeting since the organization's founding will bring together politicians as diverse as Russian President Vladimir Putin, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Chinese President Xi Jinping, Minister Narendra Modi, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, and North Korean leader Kim Jong Un. The reception of these high-ranking politicians in China gives Xi the opportunity to present himself as a mediator who brings various partners to the table. Beijing also wants to strengthen its relations with the Central Asian countries. Participants like Putin and Kim are keen to present themselves as internationally accepted leaders. No results are expected from the meeting because all decisions require unanimity. And many of the partners who will be sitting at the table in Tianjin are deeply divided, such as India and Pakistan.
Und viele Partner, die in Tianjin an einem Tisch sitzen werden, sind tief gespalten, wie zum Beispiel Indien und Pakistan.